So, guys, what's going on? So, here's an interesting story. Howard Stern moved to Florida, and now his whole staff is basically moving with him. This is Gary Dellabate. If you know the Howard Stern show, you know Gary. There's the address of his house that Gary lives in, and he put his house up for sale and he sold it. He sold it for $3.1 million, $3.2 million. It's a 7,600 square foot house. It has 5 bedrooms. This house is amazing, and we're going to see pictures of it. So, since Howard permanently moved to Florida and he moved the show to Florida, all his staff members are basically selling their houses here and then moving to Florida. Gary's one of them. The other person who's also selling a house is Ronnie. Ronnie was the limo driver, and I'm going to do a video on his house as well. Now, these pictures are from the MLS. The MLS is the multiple listing service. If you're a realtor, you're involved in real estate, you kind of know what the MLS is, at least in New York. Now, this is in Greenwich, Connecticut. I don't live too far from here, and I'm in Connecticut all the time. If you see my other videos, I'm always in a Walmart or a Best Buy in Connecticut. Also, another famous family lives in Connecticut. The McMahons live here. Vince McMahon lives in Greenwich, Connecticut. I think Shane and Stephanie McMahon live. I'm not sure if they're in Greenwich, but they're somewhere in Connecticut. And the WWF headquarters, or WWE, their headquarters is in Connecticut. It's not too far from Greenwich. So Connecticut, this part of Connecticut where he's at, it borderlines New York. It basically touches. I go back and forth every day from not every day, but I would say 3 days a week, 3-4 days a week from New York into Connecticut. If I'm not going from New York into Jersey, just depending on what I'm doing that day. And Greenwich, Connecticut is a very affluent area. It's got houses like this, $3, $4, $5 million. Some are a lot more. It's along the water. You're not too far away from basically the Long Island Sound. There is Rye Playland, which is 2 minutes away, which is an amusement park. It's probably one of the most famous amusement parks in the country, only because it's a government-owned amusement park. It's the only government-owned amusement park in the United States, and I have videos on that. If you go through my videos, you see videos on that. But this is Gary's house. I'm showing you all the pictures. It's absolutely amazing. He has a pretty big house. He has to have a couple of acres of land, I'm thinking, more than one. The house itself is 7,000 square feet. So this is a pretty big house. He has besides the 5 bedrooms, he has a movie room, a workout room with a full gym. He has a game room. You know, when you hear the radio show and you hear them like goofing on Gary, and this was years ago. I haven't listened to Howard Stern in a couple of years. You know, you always think like Gary lives in some sort of like crap apartment somewhere in New York City. You're not thinking that he lives in like a 7,600 square foot. You know, this is a big house, you know, with movie rooms and game rooms and he's got like a triple bedroom. I mean, this is a pretty fabulous house. And that's it. And you get to have a inside look at, where he comes home to every night. So him working on the Stern Show and getting all of that abuse, well, this is why he did it. I mean, that's an amazing, either that's a living room or one of his side rooms. But, listen, you're going to go to work and they're going to goof on you, but you're going to come back to your $3.2 million house. Sign me up. Now, Gary's selling this house, and what he says he's going to do is he's going to buy 2 houses. He's going to buy a house in Florida and a house in Maine. So I guess he's going to be living in Florida because that's where the show is going to be taking place, and I guess he has to be close to produce it. And then he'll have a house in Maine just because he'll come back east. Maine is also very beautiful. I like Maine. I usually visit Maine every other year. It's a great state. It's another state that's just a good-looking state. It's beautiful in Maine. So that's what he says he's doing. Now, I'm doing another video on Ronnie Munn's house, Ronnie the limo driver. Now, Ronnie lives in Queens. He lives in Whitestone, Queens, right over the Whitestone Bridge. I'm there almost every day. I go from the Bronx to Queens like nothing. So I'll be doing a video on his house and, what his house looks like, so you get to see that. So I figured I'd share this with you. I like the Howard Stern Show. I listened to the Howard Stern Show all through the 80s, all through the 90s, the early 2000s, especially when Artie was on. I loved Artie. Two of my favorite books was Private Parts and Miss America. If you want to read two fun books, two books that you really have a good time with, read Private Parts and Miss America. I haven't listened to Howard Stern in years. I mean, a long, long time. I know that Howard just signed another 5-year contract, I believe, and Howard has to be, I think, about 70 years old. So, I mean, that's really it. Now, if you know anything more about this, about the house or, the area or what's going on, with the Stern Show, leave a comment below because I love to read your comments. And that's really it. Like, subscribe, and comment. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's staying safe. God bless you guys, and I will talk to you guys later.